All right, Raider Nation, it is time for some Tough Talk Sunday. The Raiders are losing 31-0. It was 4th and 4. Went for it, and Geno Smith threw a duck right into the ground, turning the ball over on our side of the field. He has like 40 passing yards on the entire game right now as we're going into the fourth quarter. So I decided, you know what, this game's over. Just like our season, we might as well talk about what is going on with this team and what needs to happen. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, number one, our secondary is terrible. Our defense was not able to really do absolutely anything against Patrick Mahomes today. I almost said Patrick Graham. Yeah, because Patrick Graham's defense is just not it. It's not able to handle any kind of quality team. Yeah, we can beat some scrubs, but we can't beat any quality team. And so I think it's time for Patrick Graham to go. I think that Pete Carroll's hiring, his stubbornness has cost us the season. And maybe that was a mistake. I don't know yet. It's still too early to tell. They're not going to fire Pete Carroll, in my opinion. They're not going to fire Pete Carroll, but I think that it is time to fire Geno Smith. I think listen, we are 6 weeks into the season, and this dude is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. So it's time to bench him. Sit his butt on the bench and put in Pickett and just see what Pickett can do. Who knows? Maybe this dude is going to have a miraculous turnaround in his career and be able to absolutely do something. But I can tell you right now, when it comes to Geno Smith, this dude ain't it. He ain't it. He's terrible. He sucks. We overpaid him. There's a reason why Seattle did not want to meet what he was requiring. They were willing to give him a cheaper deal, but he ended up coming over to the Raiders for actually less than was Seattle, and Seattle actually dodged a bullet. The Raiders, once again, take an aging veteran player who comes to the Raiders and lays a goose egg. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. That's it. And so the Raiders suck. The Raiders suck. And it is time to fire everybody. It is time to tear this entire team down completely and start from scratch. I think you trade Jakobi Meyers this week. He'll be, I know he was injured this week, so I don't think you could trade him until after he is past his physical and is able to be listed as able to play again. But I think you go ahead and you trade Jakobi Meyers right now. Let's be honest, he's not going to be back next year. So, and nor should he want to, because this team is terrible. He's a quality player. He should go somewhere where he's going to be able to have a chance to win a game. The next thing that needs to happen, and I know that this is going to get a ton of comments in the comments section, but I think you trade Maxx Crosby right now. I think right now the Raiders make the smart move. You trade Maxx Crosby at this point right now. You get 3 first-round draft picks for this guy. You get a deal like we got for Khalil Mack. Now, it was a bad deal to trade Khalil Mack when they traded him because we had a team that could win. But we didn't. We traded him away. We do not have a team that Maxx Crosby can win. I think you trade him to a Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, somebody like that who is going to give you top dollar for this guy. 3 first-round draft picks at a minimum for one of the best defensive ends in football. Because we're not going to win with him. He is great, but he's not a quarterback. You need a quarterback to win in the NFL. And he is not a quarterback. He is a defensive end. So if your secondary sucks, if your linebacker core sucks, it doesn't matter if we have the best defensive end in the NFL. You've got to be thinking about long-term. You've got to be strategic about this. Trade Maxx Crosby, who's on a cheaper deal than some other defensive ends right now. So other teams will be able to afford him, and they would gladly give up 3 first-round draft picks for a guy who's going to be a top-notch defensive end for 3, 4, 5 years in the NFL, at least. Right now, the Raiders have to be looking towards the future. It is high time that the Raiders draft a stud quarterback in the draft in the first round. We have to do it. We have to do it. We have ignored it. We've tried all of these retread quarterbacks for years and it does not work. And even when we do draft a quarterback, it's in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. Even 7th round. There's a reason why quarterbacks get drafted early in the 1st round. They are the difference makers. It is time for the Raiders to do it. Now, if you disagree, comment down below why we should keep Maxx. What in your opinion, is Maxx Crosby doing, and all the years he's been here, ever since his first year in Oakland, what has he done to create a winning organization? Because he's a defensive player. One defensive player. And we have not had a quarterback since we got rid of Derek Carr. So, I think you trade him. Now, what else needs to go? Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham has to go. End of story. It's 4 years with the Raiders. This dude is not able to put together a top-notch defense, even having some top-notch players on the defense. He is not able to put them together. He's not what everybody was saying he was coming out of New York. He's not. Time for him to go. We need to start fresh at the defensive coordinator position. Now, I don't have an answer for who that should be. We'll see at the end of the year what candidates are available. If you have some candidates in mind, drop a comment down below and let me know. But Patrick Graham has got to go. The next thing, I'm not going to say Pete Carroll needs to go just yet. But, like I said, he's got to get out of his own way. Right now, I know Geno Smith is dude, but Geno Smith ain't handling business. And if it's a real competition, like he was having JPJ in a competition with a 3rd string guard, then why is it not a competition at the quarterback situation when clearly Geno Smith sucks? So I'm gonna say this: we give Pete Carroll 1 more year. He's on a 3-year contract. He gets 1 more year. If he cannot right the ship next year, he's gone. Chip Kelly, his offense, I don't know if he's just limited because the offensive line is terrible and because Geno Smith is terrible, but I was expecting so much more out of Chip Kelly's offense. I think that a part of it has to do with his players and the personnel that he has to work with are just not there. They're not it. But the Raiders need to go into the draft with lots of draft picks this year. We need to sell the house. And we need to use a high 1st round draft pick. Because, guys, we're probably not going to win another game this year. We're going to have a top 5 draft pick this year. And it needs to be on a quarterback. But then we need to draft offensive line. We need a tackle and we need a guard in the 1st round over the next 2 years. End of story. You win by building in the trenches. And if you don't do that, you're never going to win. Because I can tell you what's going to happen. We'll lose Brock Bowers when his rookie contract's up. They'll 5th year option him. But after that, he's gone. Why would that dude want to stay here? He is a stud. He is a superstar. And he is just on a garbage team. And then you'll lose Ashton Genty too. So right now, I think you take 2 guys that cannot help you win right now, but through draft picks, they can help you win over the next 2 to 3 years. And that's Jakobi Meyers, and that is Maxx Crosby. End of story. I mean, I literally just watched Geno Smith throw Trey Tucker, who was completely wide open. And if it wasn't for Trey Tucker getting his hands down, that ball was in the dirt. I mean, you've got a guy wide open, no pressure, and you're throwing the ball in the dirt. I don't know what's going on with Geno Smith. I don't know if it's the Raiders curse or whatever. But yeah, it's time, guys. It's time. Maxx has got to get traded. We need the draft picks. Jakobi Meyers has got to get traded. We need the draft picks. And these guys deserve better, so trade them to a quality team. That's all I got for you today. Drop comments down below. Follow for more.